Yo, what's up, everybody? If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you, this is one of the easiest ways to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. Second of all, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or computer. Third, Anchor will also distribute for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Then you can also make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Later.
Welcome to the Lion's Den with Seth, a podcast where progressive men and women can learn and teach each other the ways of the land. The Lion's Den is where royalty comes to council. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Seth.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully y'all doing well. Hopefully you're doing good. First of all, hopefully you're washing your hands. What's going on? What's going on in the city? What it is, man? Is this corona thing for real, or is the zombies on the way? What's poppin'?
Is it wash your hands or wipe your ass, though?
And that's
Which
another
one
thing.
is it?
Right. I don't get it.
Tissue,
Bro.
I can't find tissue nowhere. I'm just a regular guy just trying to get a roll.
People being extra with this tissue.
Big time.
They are a little bit. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody. How y'all doing? We got my man's Larry Herm up in the building, and we got Miss Sarita from the Butterfly Effect. Right? So real quick. So we got news. Everybody should have received this. We got news that, or one good thing is that they're talking about feds cutting main interest, right? Interest rates to 0 for the homes and everything. So that's good. That's real good. So we want to make sure that's good and everybody know about that. It's on. So, but anyway, what y'all got to add about that?
So, I mean, that's a step forward. But then when we talk about cutting interest rates and everything shutting down, a lot of people want to know, is this overblown? Is this overblown hype? Or is this something that we really should be concerned about? Mm-hmm. Because there hasn't been that many deaths. No deaths is a good death, right? Mm-hmm. But the flu has killed more people than what's it called again? Corona. Mm-hmm. So why are we flipping out about this?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. How you feel? Wait, but first, while y'all is listening, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Miss Sturgis, how you doing? Everybody else that's listening, what's going on? Miss Ashley Jackson. Who else up in this?
My man Saunders, I see you in TI.
Okay. We got Will up in there where he need to be over here, but it's all right.
He getting his tissue.
He getting his toilet paper. Huh? Yeah, he probably sleeping from that. Yeah, he probably sleep from that brunch. What's up, E? That's my man's up in there. But so yeah, what's up with this corona, man? It's like, I don't know, is it something real or is it? Well, I believe it's real because people are dying from it. But do you think we overreacting?
I think we're overreacting. And here's the thing with this coronavirus. I don't think it really got to the point where I think we started overreacting once the NBA closed their shutdown for the season, and then they started attaching celebrity names to this whole corona thing. Because before that, you could see it slowly festering, and it's like, okay, it's in China, okay, now it hit Europe, and then all of a sudden there was a few cases here and there in the U.S., but then all of a sudden it just like started popping up like spring flowers or something.
So hold on, Larry. So you say they're overreacting, and I could kind of see that, but I mean, it's other whole countries are shutting down.
That's true.
Like Italy done shut down
all
part
the way
of it.
down.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not just the U.S. I think that a lot of people don't really know what it is, but it spreads so easy because it's something that can spread not only through like breath, but like it can stay on surfaces for like 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that's like highly contagious, even though it doesn't kill a lot of people. It affects a lot of people, and there are people that are susceptible. Did I say that word right, teacher?
Is it
susceptible?
It's close enough, yes.
They're susceptible to it. I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. Like old people, right? Old people, or people with weak immune systems and stuff like that. We still got those people in the United States, and this mess is spreading.
Yes, it is. It is.
So my overreaction is more so towards the people out here buying up all the products. Though I'm not concerned with
what about
the
the
overreaction.
toilet paper, though?
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
I'm just agitated by the folks that are out here buying up everything. This is no different than when I was in Florida and there was a hurricane and they buy up all the water and the canned goods, but now it's starting to spread across the U.S.
Right.
I was at Walmart 4:30 in the morning, waiting for it to open at 6, like it was some new Jordans.
Yeah, crazy.
And I got no toilet paper.
Right.
Walmart's the new FEMA.
Bro, I just wanted, I saw your profile picture. I just wanted one roll.
So
That's
my
it.
thing is
So,
just
yeah,
be
what you
glad that you have the ability to be at the store 4:30. What about our elderly and our children who can't get out there or get these things? They have to wait on someone to bring these things to them if they have anyone to bring it to them. So
Absolutely
True.
Can I ask a question though? What made the craze to go get toilet paper? Because from what I understand, doctor says you're good if you wash your hands. You know what I'm saying? You wash your hands and take precautions on how you touch your face. You should be cool. They never said nothing about toilet paper.
Yeah.
So the reason for that is when they threaten to shut everything down for 2 weeks. If you're going to be in the house for 2 weeks, you can't leave out, and you only got 2 rolls in the house. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know
So
what? This whole
stopped up.
time,
It was
I
like
didn't
a
even
stop
think
sign.
about that. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about that because I was seeing all types of crazy mess. Like, okay, you need toilet paper for this, or we're gonna be bored, so we're gonna be doing extra stuff with the toilet paper. I ain't gonna talk too much about that, but that makes sense. So
It does.
but damn.
But imagine how people that got their ass whooped over Popeye's chicken sandwiches, and now they getting their ass
Man,
kicked
you see the
for
fights
toilet paper.
at Sam's Club?
Yeah.
Bro,
They are turning up. But what is wrong with y'all? Turning up? I don't get it,
It was
bro.
one at Family Dollar too.
And Family Dollar. I mean, they didn't took the dollar out of
we
it.
are whooping ass for any reason now.
And here's the killer part about the one at Family Dollar that I saw is they had like 2 or 3 big bundles of toilet paper in the cart though.
Yeah.
Like you don't need that much toilet paper.
Right.
Like for me, when I shop in 2-week increments. I only buy a 12 roll, maybe 20 roll if it's on sale. So you don't need that
You
much.
know what? I think they're shopping for the worst case scenario.
Right.
Because if you see, they're saying that they're going to be shutting down things slowly, like your boy Saunders say, like it's a slow transition. But at the end of the day, if they're saying things are going to shut down, they want to have everything, I guess, that's going to last through the duration. What you're going to say?
And to play devil's advocate, how many people are in your household?
5.
Boom.
So how do you know it isn't someone who has more?
Everybody dumped it in your bed. In your house.
It ain't.
Boy, everybody trying to know.
It ain't.
Yeah, you need some toilet paper, bro. You
This
need
is
some.
no different than I'm saying if you're shopping in 2-week increments, right? So you got to give them a chance to restock. We can't just buy everything today for worst case scenario for 30 days. So you got to phase this
You
stuff
are
out.
what we call a reasonable mind.
I am.
But
because
think about
These
it.
folks right now, they're tripping out.
Right.
This is like pandemonium.
Whole countries are shutting down.
They're shutting down school districts. So as far as they're concerned, if they say we can't go anywhere as of Monday, I don't have 2 weeks to buy 2-week increments.
That
I need to
makes
get my
sense.
stuff now.
So you in the school, right?
Right.
So how do you think this is going to affect the kids?
So it depends on which kids. As of Ferguson, Florissant, they're shut down. St. Louis Public is not. Hazelwood is not. So it depends on which kids you're asking about.
I wonder why is that? Why isn't there a unity when it comes down to, hey, everybody, we're just going to shut down? Why just certain districts are shut down?
That's a good question that we're trying to figure. The only thing I can think about with St. Louis Public is we're on spring break this week.
Okay.
So maybe they just want to see how it was going to play out because we weren't going to be there anyway. As far as Hazelwood, I have no clue. They said they sent out the letter. They did send a PDF out of the letter they sent requesting for us to be out. But as of now, there has been no response. So we're just kind of, so as of now, I'm at home because I teach at St. Louis Public, but my children have to go to school Monday. So it's just like, okay.
Our kids go to school. We're in Mascouda district. They go to school tomorrow, but they're out 2 weeks after that.
Right.
So they're just basically going to school to get their books.
So that's an excellent question. Why certain school districts and why not others?
Wow. So Pink Wright said, it's something that you'll eventually use, right? And it won't spoil. Yeah, that makes sense. And then somebody said something. Oh, him again. He said that there's only 150 toilet. What toilet paper? Yeah, there's only 150 toilet paper companies in America.
You know what? One thing I appreciate about how we just reconfigured is that you're reading this. Because you had me reading and I can't read.
Can't read. But I mean, seriously though, it's a real thing. I get that, but I think that there is more emphasis on what we should have been doing before, like washing your damn hands.
Why do you have to be told that?
Like, what's going on?
Bro, hey, man.
Don't forget wash your hands. What the fuck? What you been doing? That's the question.
I don't know though.
Licking them?
What makes me think about it may be a little bigger than just washing your hands though.
You know, people just be doing stupid stuff.
I don't think it's all started just from not washing your hands though, because we haven't been washing your hands since day one. For this to start the last month, I think it's bigger than just washing your hands.
Yeah, I get it. I think they're doing it saying not to spread.
It's how it spreads, because it said that if I had it, say I had the corona and I coughed on something,
right?
Then it'll stay there for 3 days. Is what I'm hearing. I haven't verified that, you know what I'm saying, but it said it'll stay there for 3 days. Rudy Gobert from the NBA, the Utah Jazz. He was clowning around saying, "I'm gonna touch all these mice because I'm not gonna get the coronavirus." He like corona. He caught it.
Yeah.
And gave it to his teammate because he was messing around.
That's what he did.
He gave it to Donovan Mitchell.
I shouldn't have said that. Y'all forgive me. Not that's what he did, but he was out of line. Anyway, he shouldn't have.
And now Donovan Mitchell sitting around and got it because he want to play games.
See?
You know what I mean? So, hey, so that's the reason why you got to wash hands.
And I guess, we want to take precaution, right? Like, I care about you. I wouldn't want you to get it. And so we should think about that when it comes down to the human man, right? Or to our neighbors. Like, I don't want little kids to get it. But then I read something that's saying kids can have it without showing any symptoms, but they can pass it to the adults.
Grandma.
Right, grandma. And who gonna be watching their badasses this week? You know what I mean? If you think about it. So like let's say you had to go to work and your grandmother or your mother was in town, somebody was in town, your kids can go to school, who watching them? Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. Damn. Y'all, wash y'all hands. You know what I'm saying? Little bad kids. They can't even play outside no more. That don't make no sense. But anyway, we're going to transition. Miss Butterfly Effect, Miss Sarita. Hey, so we want to thank you for coming on.
I appreciate
Yes. So tell us about it. The Butterfly Effect.
So the Butterfly Effect is a nonprofit organization that I started to mentor young ladies between the ages of 14 through 19. We talk to them about real life situations such as sex, relationships, financial hardships, professional development. We want to mentor them, their insides as well as their out. Make sure we're getting the whole person. Because a lot of times you can dress them up as professional as possible, but a lot of these kids are hurting inside, and people don't realize that they don't have a lot of people to talk to or to go to, and a lot of people undermine those exterior attitudes and things that they project. Why do you have attitude? You're just a kid. You don't have these pressures. There's nothing wrong. All you gotta do is go to school, come home. Like, you don't have anything to be upset about, but inside there's a lot going on with our children that a lot of people overlook, and they need that outlet. So that's what I want it to be.
So you talked about sex. That was the first thing that you mentioned. I remember being in the 4th grade and people asking me, "Hey, have you had sex yet?" And I didn't even know what sex was, but I felt like I had a lie to say yes because it gave me credibility, right?
Correct.
But for a young girl, it's a different experience.
It is. But actually, we feel those same pressures. I used to lie and tell people that I had sex when I was in high school and I was a virgin.
What?
So like literally, we would lie, so they would be looking at you like, you're a virgin, like what? You were like,
want to be the cornball.
Exactly, you're more like the outcast if you saved yourself. So we would lie too. We would say little crazy things, a little smart comment, little erotic comments back or whatever the case may be, just to fit in.
So the question I have is, I'm under the impression from growing up that a guy having sex with plenty women or plenty girls or even lying about it is looked at as the man. Hey, man, dude's pimping over there.
Absolutely.
But a woman is going to be looked at as a hoe.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you talk about young girls with? When you talk about sexuality, can you describe that?
So pretty much we want to let them know everyone should be comfortable with their sexuality. These kids are a they're a lot freer with their sexuality than we were, as far as transgenders, bisexual, gay, straight, whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of ground to cover. But either way, we want them to let them know that you're going to get those urges. My job isn't to let them know you shoulda, coulda, wouldn't, you don't do that, because they're going to do it. My job is to advise them that if you have those emotions, if you have those feelings, think those situations through. Because once you put yourself out there, you can't take it back. And it could explode. It could turn into a negative situation. You have to know, are you mature enough to internally deal with that? Are you able to handle the aftermath? If he doesn't call you after that, can you handle that? If it turns into something more, can you handle that? Like, what are you really getting yourself into? Why are you even in this situation? Or are you having sex because you really have feelings for this person? Or are you going through something else and you're using this as an outlet? What is your real motive for having sex with this person? Are you protecting yourself because you don't want to have this wham bam thank you ma'am, and then you leave with something that's long term? Yeah. So we just want to cover all bases, to have them really think these things through and help them understand it's fine to have these urges, but be smart about them.
Right,
okay. And first of all, I want to say I commend you for this, because we all have daughters.
Got nothing but girls.
And I love her. I love my daughter, but it's so hard because I know how I was. So now I have to let her know to watch out for 14, 15-year-old me, because I was out of line. Totally. As a matter of fact, I'm still kind of, but she don't see that part. But I do commend you, because there are a lot of men out there that's in a similar situations but don't know how to communicate that to these young ladies. So how do you is it just you or a team?
So
is it a group of you guys that talk to these young ladies?
No, it's just me. And okay, so and my friend Bianca, she's the one who mentored me through the whole thing. She is like, hey B. So
shout out Bianca.
What's going on, Bianca?
Yeah,
what's up?
She is my bestie. Like, literally, she's been with me through this whole thing. So if I do need someone to come in on a session with me or to help me with events and things like that, she is my go-to person. But for the most part, I'm the one that holds the workshops and all that good stuff. But as far as dealing with the girls, feel free to give me a call. But I have my own girl. So, and not to mention I was a teen mom. So I'm talking to these young ladies from experience, which I think is the reason they're more susceptible to.
That's how you say that damn word. I'm going to forget. Go ahead.
I think that's why they're more susceptible to listening to what I have to say, because I'm not coming to them as just this adult telling them what they shouldn't do. I'm coming to them as someone who's gone through what they're going through.
Nice.
So, and my daughter's 20 now. We beat all the odds, all the naysayers, all the we wouldn't, we couldn't, we're not going to be this, that, and other. So, no, but but I'm coming to them from experience, and the same things I tell her, I tell my other girls. I treat all of them like they're my babies. The gentlemen too, so I'm in the high school. So when I talk to my kids and we have those group sessions, because sometimes in the middle of class, someone might say something crazy and I just have to, hey, let's put this out there. Let's make this a learning experience. So I think we have to be as open as possible.
That's good.
Yeah, about what they're, because a lot of these people are literally, in 2020, I had one of my juniors, he's 16, say that HIV is only for gay people, for gay men. Like,
that's the old thinking. That's when it first came out. They thought that.
That's what I'm saying. So when he said it threw me and was another student at the table. So we both looked at him like, say what now?
He learned that from his grandparents.
Yeah. So it's like, are you serious? So there's still a lot of ignorance to sexually transmitted diseases and sex as a whole. Like, these kids are uninformed. They're learning from each other, which we already know is bad. It is horrible, between each other, social media, and reality television, which is all they're pumping to our kids. It's horrible. So somebody has to be the intervention in that. Somebody has to intercede on that. So,
what you got, Larry?
So I went to Vashon High School, right? I told you that earlier. We had a daycare in our high school.
Yo, I heard
most people don't have
I never heard that. This is the first time I ever heard that in my life.
We had a daycare in our school, and I was always curious, like,
that's what's up.
Did it help or did it hurt the students?
So it helped, because kids gonna have sex whether it's a daycare or not. this keeps them in school. I mean, they're not going to be like, oh, there's a daycare here. Let me get mine in. Like, we're going to be good. No, they're going to do that regardless. It helped them because now we can come to school.
I didn't even think about it.
We didn't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids dropped out because they became teen parents. That's the reason they put the daycare there. You don't have to drop out. We can help you with this. I think more schools need to put daycares in there. Luckily, I didn't have my daughter till a week after graduation. She held on for all the everything, the after graduation barbecues and everything. A week after, that's when I had her.
Well, that's good. And so that was in your high school, right?
Yeah.
Now I had two. There was two young ladies in my middle school that were pregnant.
Yeah.
You right? And so at my age, I can understand why that would be an advantage because they was getting it in. You know what I mean? Nothing could stop them, if you will. No amount of education. But what was keeping them in school, and they didn't have that? That was in Detroit, and so like I'm hearing this more and more different schools having that there, and I'm like, wow, that's the dumbest thing because I thought it would perpetuate them to do it, but it actually would keep them there because now it removes excuses.
Exactly.
Right.
The barriers out the way.
That is the first time I ever heard about a daycare in high school. Is just now.
It was the norm for
Really?
And that is like the most beautiful thing I've heard. You know, because just like you said, they're going to have sex. And I can't see, I don't think a daycare, they're looking like you said, I don't think they're looking at a daycare like now it's on.
Yeah.
But damn, that's really a city looking out for you. It's like, yo,
There you go.
we want you to still graduate so you don't become a statistic.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but
Damn.
see, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Do your thing,
because
bro.
of what I've seen. It's good, but I've seen folks have kids each and every school year too.
Wait,
So-
how? Ain't there?
So my
Dang.
thing with
enough
that is that's
time,
why I
man.
asked, does it help
I mean,
or does it hurt?
I mean,
Is
if you think
some
about it.
people are taking advantage. I'm not saying they're taking advantage. I don't want to say that, but if you have a kid from your freshman year all the way through your senior year, and yes, it keeps you in the school. But my question is, I still think I don't know if that's good or bad.
Because
though.
it didn't make it hard.
It didn't. It made it a little easier, I think.
See?
There's no consequences behind it.
Damn, I'm learning.
But
Me
you
too.
still have.
I didn't know you
there are
had
definitely
kids every
consequences.
semester.
year.
You know what?
every year. Every year.
Every
Oh,
year.
Grades.
nasty old freaky man.
I
You
feel
11th grade.
Bro.
And you 12th grade kid.
Getting it.
God dang.
Getting it.
freshman year to
So hold
senior.
on. You could be a senior and your child is in preschool.
It's happening now.
Yeah.
Folks, kids are
Down the
graduating
street.
high school right or
Down
have
the
done
street.
it already.
This is happening, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
this ain't me butchering and
I know-
bashing
I know
them either.
you're
I'm
not.
just
I know.
Both of them getting
throwing it
lunch
out
money.
there.
Everybody get
God dang, boy.
It's silly. It's just
I ain't think about it like that, but it's true though. I ain't even think about it
it's
like
just
that.
because of this topic. I'm like, you know what? I remember in high school. I'm like,
Yeah.
got a whole daycare on this floor. It's crazy.
Roosevelt has one as
What you was
well.
gonna say? I'm sorry.
I love
we
it.
took a left. But
No, it's a different perspective. I would have never thought of it from that viewpoint. But I think it's some more underlying things going on at home because there are definitely consequences. Because once you leave school, those kids, that's all
Absolutely.
you. So there are some other underlying situations going on. I wouldn't put that on the daycare.
And you know what? I can dig that because if you are coming to school and you're feeling okay with having more children, there's something lacking at home. Nobody's letting you know what's good. You know what I mean? And if someone is encouraging that type of mess, then that surrounding is out of line.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't even think about
We
that.
wasn't even planning on going down this route.
Dang.
It's real life
But
though.
it is. That makes
It's real
sense.
life.
I want to switch the rest of something that's going on right now. That's happening, but Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls, hip hop for females right now, right?
Ain't no such thing.
There is a such
No,
thing,
ain't
man.
no such thing.
It's
I'ma tell
stripper
you.
music,
No, but it ain't hip hop. That is not hip hop.
bro. You speaking like an
Is it
old
hip-hop?
man.
Right, he got serious.
It ain't hip hop.
Hold
might
on,
need to change the subject. I don't
but hold on.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen,
So
because I'm a DJ. I'm listening to this.
I'm a
I can
DJ
get
too. We talked about this.
DJ iPad.
iPhone, man. Come on, man. But hold on.
But all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Hey, no.
there has been a change in music for rap with women. You know what I'm saying? Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls. It's kind of like they're trying to grab a hold of control how they are viewed sexually, right?
Okay.
Now I don't agree with the way that they're going about it. It's not for me. You know what I mean? But I do understand that the narrative has to change, right? How
It does.
women are getting viewed, like, hey, sexually, like, everything about about that is controlled by men. So it's like, hey, we women, we're trying to take control of this, and this is how we want to be viewed. And they're doing it through music in a way that I don't think is positive.
You want to read that?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it does need to change. In your organization, how do you see that? I'm pretty sure you heard that music before, right?
How do you think yes, I've heard that.
You begin to hear it all the time, I'm sure.
So what do you think, in your opinion, coming from your organization standpoint?
She gonna have a code.
First of all, that song is fire.
Go ahead.
But okay, so here's the thing. It does need to. How can I put this? Because we had Lil' Kim.
That's true.
We did.
We had Lil' Kim.
We did.
Foxy
But I
Brown.
wasn't. Come on, yes. But I
hold
wasn't
on.
walking around.
Foxy wasn't like that.
Oh, but she was.
She was like that, but she could
her
still
songs
rap. It
and-
wasn't like that, man.
It don't matter.
Was it? I know Lil' Kim was.
Her special areas were still showing, sir, and she was still talking about sexual things.
All right.
I promise you.
Bro, the first she was with it. All right, but go ahead. To your point. Go ahead.
So, I do think that the narrative needs to change to a degree, but we can't all put it on the music.
That's true.
I had a grandmother. I had a mother. I knew if I walked out the house in the fur coat and a thong, can we curse on her?
Yes.
My ass was grass. Like there was structure at my house. Now, yes, I ran out at 17 and did look because my mom kept me on lockdown. I was the only child, and when I tell you, it was high level security at all times on me. So when I did get to slide out or do things, whatever, mess around, I was never one of those kids like, yeah, I can have my baby. It was never like that. That was like one of those, oh my God, my mama about to kill me moments. So I still had that structure, and I still had, right to this day, if I walk in the house and your hair is all over your head, my grandma gonna call you on it.
Gotcha.
My mama gonna tell you something about yourself. It's what's going on at home.
Man.
People are letting social media and reality TV raise their children.
True.
The moms are out teeny bopping and twerking the hot girl summer. So if the daughters are growing up watching their mothers twerk and act a fool, and the club is your number one priority, what do you think the children are gonna do? My daughter listens to hot girl summer, but she is in nursing school. She knows if she walks out my house looking any type of other than what I have raised her, it's gonna be all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
She can blast as loud as she wants to in her car, in the house while she cleaning, whatever you want to do. But when you leave out of here, you are my child.
Because music
You
is
are a young
entertainment, not raising.
Exactly.
So we all know that, but these kids is out of line.
Because if you don't have a
parents
parent
are
that's
out of
also
line.
raising,
That's right.
then they getting raised by Meg Thee Stallion.
Period. And guess what? Meg Thee Stallion's in college.
City girl,
Period.
city girl lyrics over there.
Hey, with a 2.7.
With a T at it.
Hey, but go ahead. Hey, check that out, Larry. What
All right, so we got Dorothy Nelson. She wrote, but as a mom, if I have to take my kids to school and get all of us ready every morning, it teaches me to continue my goals and to be a mother. I think it's a great resource being a mom. It's not easy, and hauling your kids to school isn't a walk in the park either. So my comment to that is, like I said, I was just playing devil's advocate. So I wasn't bashing the school for having a daycare in it. I'm just saying it was different than when I was joining the military and I started telling people, hey, my school had a daycare. It's like, what? They're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I understand the reasoning behind it, but I was just playing devil's advocate. It's like, I don't know, could it, escalate and people take it? Like I said, that we had certain people that had kids every year, though, even though they were still going to school. But I mean, come on, like, you don't need to be having kids every year, even though I know you don't plan it, but it happens. But you got to protect yourself, right? So that's all I was saying, was that it is a good resource. I definitely agree with it, especially for those that take advantage of it and bring their kids to school and don't have no excuses.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, as we raising our kids to come that comes before us, are we teaching them that high school is, okay, it's cool if you have a kid or two. We got resources for you.
Right.
It's kind of like the handout with welfare. It's like you take,
Exactly.
That's all I'm pointing out.
Right.
Yeah. Yo, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Wait. No. Hold that thought, because we got to take a break. But before we do, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but today was the brunch up at the VFW. Yes, you missed it. Was it good, brother? Could you dig it? I can dig it. Y'all listen, I'm still dozing off. But anyway, so listen, it's Kevlar's Grill, all right? You go to kevlarsgrill.com, and also don't forget to go to Google to give them a rating, all right? Go to Google. It's cool going to Facebook and rating, but go to Google and do it, all right? They're open 7 days a week, but keep in mind, due to what's going on right now, we don't know how that's going to work, but they still got Grubhub for right now. Can you dig it? So their numbers is 618-416-5700 inside the VFW post 4183. Okay, but the first and third Friday is brunch. Don't forget, check them out. The food is marvelous.
Hey, check them out for lunch too, because
Oh,
the
yeah,
quesadilla is there.
Oh, the shrimp. The shrimp
Bruh.
quesadilla.
Wait a minute, where's my plate?
Yo, see?
You got to come down here. You know what I'm saying?
And every day throughout the week is they change up their specials. It's $9.99. Telling you, you can't beat that. But,
Holla at 'em.
hey, we will be right back. So y'all stay tuned and stick around.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. The Lion's Den podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now, back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the other half of the Lion's Den. We just got it in talking about the butterfly effect and just kids in general. I mean, it's some great conversations. Great conversations. So go ahead, kick it off. You have something, Herm. What you have, brother?
So we talked a little bit off air about discipline with kids, right?
Right.
I have a daughter, 12 years old, and she did something that she really wasn't supposed to do, right? And it upset me a lot. It got me to a point where I was at rage. And I confronted her about it. I was like, yo, how can you do this? And I'm mad, right? And my daughter looked at me. I know she's got whoopings before, you know what I mean? Not by me, you know what I mean? She has whoopings before. She looked at me. She was scared. And she said, you know, Daddy, if you whoop me, you know what I'm saying, I'm still going to feel this way. And that stopped me in my tracks. You know what I'm saying? First things first is I didn't intend on whipping my daughter, you know what I mean? Because I never want my daughter to get used to a man hitting her.
Absolutely.
But for her to say that to me, I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? She knows the way to reach her. And right now with this intimidation act, it's not working.
Right.
What do you say to parents out there that think that, you know what I'm saying, whooping, I mean, I know whooping is a tool.
Yeah.
That whooping is the end all be all.
So it's definitely a tool, but it is not the only tool. My first suggestion would be to know your kids. You have to know your kids. I have two that if I raise my voice, if I get the hooting and hollering, if mommy is up here, everything shut down. Okay, wait, what's the problem? Let's get to it. My middle son, he shuts down. You're yelling and you're talking to a brick wall because at this point it's in one ear and not the other ear. So you have to know what motivates each child. So with him, I have learned, and he's 15, but sometimes you're so engulfed in, because we got whooped a lot that was how our parents raised us. Right. Lord knows, listen, I got tagged. So it's a learned behavior. Timeouts don't always work either. I never was a timeout person. Luckily, I haven't had to do a whole lot of whooping, but whooping has definitely been a part of their upbringing. But the older that my 15-year-old got, it's ineffective. So you just whoop me, now I can't stand you. And I started seeing myself in him, because I know when my mom used to whoop me, I used to be thinking in my head, we could have just talked about this, or all the name calling wasn't necessary, or you could like bring it down 5 octaves because I'm at this point, whatever. So it was a resentment that started to build up. Now you've lost them, because whatever information you did want to give them, they're not trying to hear anything you're trying to say, because at this point, you just doing this, you just hit me, I don't want no parts of you.
You know what? And I can touch on that a little bit. Like with my daughter, in the beginning, I tried to raise her the way I was raised, because some things worked for me, and I'm like, all right, that's how I got it. But with her, totally different. So I can just give her the look like, for real? bruh, she's like, okay, all right, I know something is wrong, so let me, revert back. But when I raise my voice and she see that I am like for real mad, but it's more not like checking what she did, but checking who she is as a person. Now I had to take it back because I don't want to hurt her, but I want her to get how bad I'm hurt because of what she did without thinking. You get what I mean? Because because it was almost like, run into a brick wall, like you said, like, okay, why you not getting this? Why you not getting this? And it's not like they wasn't getting it, but the approach wasn't right.
And a lot of times they're dealing with stuff that we don't know anything about.
Right.
So I'm catching it from both ends. As a teacher, I have my students who are dealing with the foolery that they're dealing with at home as well as within the school. And then I go home to my children who are dealing with internal issues. Like I'll use my 15-year-old again. I know he's hurting because of his dad. So a lot of the things that he does or wasn't doing, it came from a place of, I'm not good enough. So if I'm not good enough, why try? So I literally had to sit down with him and have the very real conversation with him not too long ago and let him know that, hey, your dad loves you, but he may not be able to express it the way that you're envisioning it. So he's not able to live up to what is going on in your mind, and you're taking it as if you're not important enough to receive it. He doesn't know what's in your mind. You haven't had that conversation, and your dad is who he is. He's 47 years old. It is what it is. So you're going to have to learn to love him as who he is and kind of restructure what you want that relationship to look like, or either have that very open conversation with him about, this is what I expect of you. This is what's missing. How can we fix this? How can we turn it around? But you're going to have to take that pain off of your own shoulders because it's not you. You have 5 other brothers and sisters through him. Look at how he's raising each of you. No one's getting more attention than the other. He was internalizing all that. He was taking it personal, like, I'm not good enough. I had to open his eyes and let him see, hey, wait, he's acting like this with all of you. It's not just you. So you have to take that off of you. You have to deflect that. You have to get those thoughts out of your mind because it was sinking him. He was in a place of depression. He had stopped performing in school. He was an honor roll student, star football player. And because of the way his dad was acting, even though I have advised him of such, he doesn't know how to process that. Some people don't know how to process emotion or either they can process it, but they don't know how to act on it. So if you haven't been raised as a man on, this is what you need to teach your son, this is how you reach out to your child, or this is how you pull them out of this place, you run from it and you neglect it, and then it festers. He doesn't realize his son is in this sinkhole because of him. So it took me to pull him out and say, hey, look, imagine how you feel when your dad isn't giving you the attention that you want. But then you have me, your brother, and your sister in this household, and we're your cheering squad. But then every time we say, DJ, come over here, we love you, like, come over here with us, and you're ignoring us and like pushing our love away because you're chasing after something that he's incapable of doing for you. So now you shut us down, now we're feeling like you feeling. So I had to bring that very real emotion to the surface. How you feel is how we feel when we're steady trying to pull you in. Hey, we're here, we love you, we're right here, and you're steady turning away, chasing after
something that's not there.
Go ahead, Larry.
It reminds me of that TV show All American. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
It's a football star. It's based on a real story. I forget what network it comes on.
Netflix.
But the same thing. The guy's star football player, All American, but it's something about the father that he's missing. He got his mom, his brother, and everybody in the community supporting him.
That's what
but he's missing the father connection. And throughout the whole show, he's trying to appease his father.
Yep.
And
so
everything else around him is like...
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I was going to touch on. Now, even though his father is absent to speak, right, in a way, what do you think about how important it is to find not necessarily a substitute, but to find a mentor that can help fill that hole? You know what I mean? Because the reason why I say that is I'm a firm believer that a woman cannot raise a young man to be a man. Right now, she can help him to be respectable, you know, and, you know, to learn how to take care of themselves. But there's something inside of him that you may never be able to give him just because of DNA structure, right? So how important do you think it is to surround him with, or to marry him up with someone that can give him what he needs?
I definitely think that it's very important, because that's a lot of times that's what a child they want, that, like you said, they want that connection, they want that bond. The only problem with it is if their barrier or their wall is built up so high or so tough that finding that right person that can break through it, because again, they want their dad, and it's not like his dad is dead or away. He sees him every other weekend. It's super hard when the antidote is there, but the antidote doesn't know how to be the antidote. So it's not like he's gone away. He's right there. He sees him. And he's very incapable, like the mental of, this is what I need to be for my kids, is not there. And if it is, he just doesn't know how to express it or let it out, probably because he wasn't taught to do so. So it's hard when you're trying to find this quote unquote replacement or fill in, and he's like, okay, this is great, but I still want this.
Gotcha.
You know, so it can make it very hard on a single parent or single mom, because I've tried, trust me. And then you have to find the right mentor, the person who has the time, the one who's going to show him, you know, you can do this, you can do that. And then once you link him with him, now it's on him to receive it.
That's right.
So if he doesn't receive it, then what? You can look and look and look, but until you actually address that core issue, that core hurt, you can link them up with whoever you want to link them up with. And
okay, I get you. Well, listen, I want to bring it back up to you.
Okay.
All right. And the butterfly effect, because I think where we're going right now, that's another topic, but we would love for you to come back and, you know, expound on that. What y'all think?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
1,000%. Yeah.
Okay, right on. So the butterfly effect, okay, what type of, I wouldn't say success story. Well, yeah, let's use that. Like, within your program, what have you seen, or a young lady, you know, transition as far as being in your program?
So I've had quite a few, but my first two girls that I started out with, I won't say their names, but I had one who was having self-esteem issues because of her skin tone, and she was a cutter. So her mom brought her to me. We had another one who was just going through like family issues or whatever, so she was kind of starting lagging it off in school, but it wasn't so far gone that she wasn't able to be reached, you know? So, like, literally, kids will talk to you. People think the kids, no, they don't say nothing. They don't tell you, yeah, they will. If you get them in a nice setting, and like I tell my kids my story all the time. I'm not this superior being. I made these mistakes too. So it makes them more drawn to me and to tell me their issues and take my advice and things like that. But we definitely got the one young lady to stop cutting. She was like, stop it. Like, that's not, because when you get done, the problem is still there. And now you're steady making yourself worse. All of those insecurities and self-esteem issues, you're making them worse, because now you're, you know what I'm saying, you're making it noticeable. Building them up, like I said, we want to talk to their spirits and let them know, hey, you're beautiful. Like, skin tone does not matter. If anything, more melanin, like, come on. They winning right now.
Chocolate. Hey, so
we winning.
No.
We winning, damn it.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Why you look at me?
No, I'm looking at you because for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, hey, he think he's the darkest brother on this panel. Okay, we know what it is.
Come on, man.
So you a Drake?
Hell no. You know what I mean?
Don't do this, man.
Hey, listen. Yeah, he a Drake. He be taking baths in coconut butter.
Show ass up, man. Don't do this to me, dog.
No, man, you know. But I understand as far as, you know, yeah, Drake. But you know, just having those insecurities, and I can relate to that because kids can be so cruel, so cruel. And where we are right now, it wasn't like that in the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, unless you was Wesley Snipes or Denzel, you know what I mean? Other than that, you was a African booty scratcher. You get what I'm saying? But now
it changed.
It has.
When Morris Chestnut came out, listen, y'all were life.
Hey, and so that's what's up. Yeah, he took it down, but I can dig that, but I feel as though it's harder for the young ladies.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because they see a brother that they may be interested in gravitating to someone that doesn't look like them. So how do you instill in them, no matter what he does, you're still beautiful?
So I always talk to my girls and let them know that, first of all, no one will love you more than yourself.
Dig it.
If you don't love you, how can anyone else?
There you go.
Literally, when you love yourself, you project a whole nother version of you.
Yes.
There's something that shines about you. The way you smile, the way you walk, your confidence levels are up. So I also let them know that if someone doesn't accept you for who you are, then let that be that. Let them walk away, because there's always something better. I'm light-skinned. Not every man out there wants me. I always bring it to their attention. Don't ever think skin tone has any barrier on there. No one out there thinks I'm the finest woman in the world just because I'm light-skinned. I just got these locks. Like, I had the long hair, light skin, blah, blah, blah. Like, not everyone thinks I'm, oh my God, the cat's meow. It doesn't work that way. There are going to be people who are attracted to light skin. There are going to be people who are attracted to dark skin. It's about you. It's about you. And you could be the most beautiful woman in the world, always instilling in that. But if your character sucks, guess what? Who wants you?
That's right.
And then there are girls walking around with all these big butts, small waists, but they have no core. There's nothing. So after the man gets done doing what he wants to do with you, what do you now have to offer him to keep him there? So I always let them know you need to build yourself up inside and then worry about, because that will follow. Once you build yourself up, listen, I just finished my grad degree in October. You can't tell me nothing about myself. So you walk different. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, wait, like I am the ish. And if you don't want this, this is not good enough for you, enjoy.
Because you're more than what you look like.
And a lot of people don't realize that. So if that young man or young lady, whatever the case may be, does not take the time to figure out who you are inside and what it is you bring to the table, and can they match that? Because a lot of times people, or young people, grown people, distance themselves because they can't match what you're bringing to the table. They're intimidated.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it has nothing to do with exterior or skin tone. It's what you bring to the table. I can't match that. We're not equally yoked. So I always let them know it's always someone else out there. I tell these kids all the time, don't get caught up in the hype of this puppy love in high school anyway. By the time you leave for 3 years down the line, you probably won't even know their names anyway.
Right.
You're gonna have so many people, and if you do marry your high school sweetheart, awesome. Like, congrats to you. But
hopefully y'all make it.
Yeah.
The odds of that happening are so unrealistic right now. You know what I mean? Boyfriends and heartbreaks you're gonna have by the time you find the one. Right. So
I barely know the people in high school anymore.
That's what I'm saying. And you've met so many people. Well, I'm not gonna put that on you, but you probably met a few people until you met. You know what I'm saying? You're the one. So I always have to let people, or my girls, know this isn't it. Like, it doesn't stay, like, this is not it. And sometimes it's harder to break through some than others. I had one of my students at school the other day. I'll make this quick because I know you want to move to the next question. But, like, it was so heartbreaking. It was ribbon day, and she came in sweats. And I was like, I'm on singing committee. So I'm like, this ribbon day, you're not finna go on this stage with these sweats on. So I started a boutique at Roosevelt, me and Miss Taylor, where we keep professional business casual clothes. So we teach them how to dress professionally. Took her up there to get a dress. She's boohooing. And I'm just talking like, calm down. Like, we yelled at everybody who didn't dress up. She keeps crying. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this about the clothes? There's something else going on. Come to find out, her boyfriend didn't want her to dress up. So we literally had to, like, she's a senior in high school.
Yeah.
She's boo-hooing, would not change her clothes because her boyfriend did not want her. She literally looked at the clothes and said, I want to dress up. I want to get pretty. but he didn't want me to.
How'd you handle that?
Literally, I wanted to bust out into tears, but I had to give her a real life story. Again, I'll tell my business. I have no problem. If it'll pull you out the dump, I'll tell you. So I had to give her, like, everything I was laying out on the table. I told her I went through that for 3 years with someone who was so insecure with themselves. Like, everything that I did, they wanted to be completely in control of. I couldn't look another man in the eye. I couldn't talk to someone for too long, or I was sleeping with him, or I was doing this. I went on a job interview one time. He went and sat in the car. Like, literally, he sat in the car the whole time in the interview. And then, you know, you come out in the wind blows, so you're getting yourself together. What you do to get the job back? Huh?
Wow.
Like, and I went through that for 3 years of trying to, so I started abiding by the rules. I started doing what he wanted me to do, thinking if I do this and I do that and do that, he'll see I love him. I'm here for him. I'll fix it, and then he'll be better. And I had to let her know, no matter what you do and how many rules you abide by, it's not going to fix him. He's going to be that same insecure person. And if anything, it's going to get worse. You're creating a monster, because guess what? The next time he's going to hit you, it's going to start turning physical. And you're so young. Like, literally, she's 17 years old, and you're already going through stuff like this. Like, these kids are going through so much.
So where is she now, like, mentally?
She opted out of participating in, and she won an award. She opted out of participating at all. She was like, I was like, you know what? Forget it. We'll go ahead and let you walk in the sweats, and I'll tell everybody that you just couldn't fit anything in here. And she was like, no, I don't even want to walk in the sweats. I said, so do you hear yourself? You know this isn't you. You know this is not what you want. This is not what your heart desires, but you're willing to give up you for him. I said, and I gave her that same spiel. You probably won't even know him in 3 years. Like, literally, you're giving up on all. She's not going to prom. She's not going to any of that because he doesn't want her to dress up. I told her, you're giving up all your lifetime memories, all the things that you could tell your children, all the things that you can share with your family when you get older, for someone that you probably won't even know. I was like, this is not what love feels like. I had to tell her, this is not what love feels like. Like, literally, I'm hugging her while she's crying, and she still did not go.
She's gonna have to find that out on her own, though, because a lot of times it's nothing more powerful than a man that's controlling a woman like that. You know what I'm saying?
So young. So if he's like that now,
so you could say, hey, this, that, and the third. They're gonna have to go through the experience on their own to see exactly what that is.
Unfortunately, in that case scenario, yes. But I'm hoping that whatever I said to her, something, because she nodded her head every time I gave her an example of a scenario of what I was going through. She nodded. She knew exactly what I was talking about. She was going through all of that. So I'm hoping that something stuck and it changes quickly. Because if you're already at the point of being controlled by a man, or he's an underclassman. I was so
snap.
He was a junior.
I thought he was older.
Yeah, I thought he was a grown man or something.
No, he was a junior. She's a senior.
Crazy.
I was. Listen.
Watch Dolomite his whole life.
Man, shut up. Let me tell you something. Dolomite was a scholar. You understand what I'm saying? Dolomite is an upstanding brother, okay? Hey, anybody, you know about Dolomite, don't you? God bless you.
That's a good movie.
Anyway, man, shut up. You're a hater.
We talked about this before.
Y'all like Fall from Grace. But anyway.
That movie was horrible. But anyway, go
ahead. No, that's all right. But with that being said, it's scary because that's one individual. Think about the millions of women, young girls, that thinks that control is love, that think that emotional and physical abuse is love, that equates to love. That's sad. So what else? So I know you do stuff with the prom dresses and the clothes. So what else? Tell us about that.
So that's something that I started doing probably about 3 years ago before I even started Butterfly Effect. That derived from, again, I was a pregnant teen. So my senior year, I was, around prom time, I was 9 months pregnant. Me and my mom were saving up for a baby. We couldn't afford a prom dress. So when I told my best friend, Tiffany, that...
What's up, Tiffany?
When I told her that I wasn't going to prom, she told her mom. And her mom had a plus-size best friend. When she went to her friend called me over and she gave me a brand new dress so that I could go to prom. Like, literally, I wasn't the teen that was hiding. Like, I was pregnant. It is what it is. Y'all deal with it. I'm good. So I went to everything. I'm like, literally, it was my decision. Like, I had to fight to keep my baby. So she gave me the dress and I was like super grateful. So the fact that Tiffany and her family, the way they treated me throughout the whole pregnancy, like, there is no love like that. Because a lot of times when a friend of your child gets pregnant, you looking like, whoa, pump the brakes, she needs to go sit down over there. They didn't do me like that at all. Like, I was still family, in and out. She still came and picked me up in her mom's truck, no driver's license, every weekend. Like, I was family. We were squad. They never treated me any differently. My daughter got here, like, literally, it's always been us. So for them to do that for me, I wanted to do that for somebody else, because I know that feeling of thinking, dang, I'm not gonna get to go. Like, that sucks. So it was hurtful, because when you gonna get another senior prom? Right. So I didn't want anybody else to go through that feeling just because of a financial hardship, you know? Especially a lot of kids, it's not their fault that their parents don't make enough. Those dresses and tuxedos cost like a wedding. My daughter's junior prom dress literally was $386, and her senior prom dress was $690.
That's what I gotta look forward to.
Jesus Christ!
Man.
I need to start making hers now by hand.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's no joke, and everyone can't afford things like that.
Right.
Skipping out on bills just for a prom, but it's prom.
So who do you work with to help with the clothes and everything?
So luckily the community is amazing. I get a lot of donations, strictly just from the community. I just started doing the young men this year, but that was because word has spread about myself and my organization. That was actually God. I'll get into that. But I started off with the community just donating dresses, and I was literally driving around in my car, school hopping. I would just go to school, or I would call up and talk to the social workers. I have dresses. Do you have anybody that needs help? And I was lugging all this stuff in my car and taking it out of schools and giving the dresses away. I got the attention of a friend of mine on Facebook. Her daughter is on Dance Moms, and she reached out to Prom Girl. She had a little pool because her daughter's a celebrity. She got dresses from Prom Girl and gave them to me. So then that built up. And then after that, I made connections with Signature Bridal, and now they gave me dresses this year and last year. Awesome. So brand new dresses. So I have a mix of brand new and used, but of course it's one time, so it's not like they're torn up or anything like that. They're beautiful gowns, like amazing. And then Roy Gillespie from the Urban League is the one who gives me my tuxes and my suits, and all of them are brand new from different stores like Men's Warehouse, Warehouse of Fashion, Savvy's, all that type of stuff. So,
hey, shout out to everybody! Shout out to everybody that's given to this organization. That is great. And absolutely. So when do you give these away?
So I give them away. This was my first time doing events, actually, because like I said, I was school hopping, but I had so many, all that wasn't fitting in that Nissan. So I've had 2 events already, but of course you want to do it early spring, between February and March, because prom season usually starts in April. So I've already had 2 on February 22nd and March 7th. My final one this year will be March 21st.
March 21st.
Okay.
Coming up.
And I want everybody to know we will be there. We gonna be there, right?
I'm gonna be there.
You gonna be there. Hey, Foots, you gonna be there. Yeah, you gonna be there. CJ, you invited. You gonna be there. And my daughter, guess what? You gonna be there because I want you to see this. Okay? Don't worry about it. You just go ride with me. But yeah, so we want to be there to help and support. Right?
Awesome.
And,
I appreciate it.
Especially to help people with the young men with the ties.
Absolutely.
I can't do that, man. I do clip-ons.
So you do clip-ons. Look, maybe they can teach you.
I was just gonna say you can teach
You gonna have my big ass up there getting taught to?
I don't want to choke your neck.
Just fake the phone. Nobody have to know you watching from the back.
I YouTube it before I go.
Man, it's harder than you think.
I know.
It is, bro. There's so many different ways to do that jump. But
my dad will be there. He'll show you. I tell him to pull you to the side so you won't be embarrassed.
That's good. That's good. So look, where can individuals find you if they want to just support, give you donations, whatever? Where can they find you on social media?
So you can definitely find me on Facebook at Butterfly Effect Outreach. I'm also on Instagram, also at Butterfly Effect Outreach. Hit me up in my inbox, leave a message. I'm super responsive, but my phone is connected to my hand. You can also email me at butterflyeffectoutreach@yahoo.com.
Awesome. So again, guys, you heard that. If there's anything that y'all want to say or to reach out to her, we appreciate it. What you got, Larry? I saw you write down something. What you got?
I did. I was going back to where you were talking about being a teen mom in high school. So it just made me jot this down. I was curious. What were you thinking as far as your mindset when you walked into school and you were showing as a pregnant teen? Like, what was the conversation around you, or what was the talk, or just what's the mindset?
Wait, did anybody ask you what happened?
Yeah.
What I appreciate.
Well, they knew what happened.
Yeah, right.
But what came of that?
Yeah.
Like negative, positive, in between, whatever.
So shockingly, and I'm glad you asked that, my peers were very positive.
Oh, supportive.
Like they
Because
were.
we 80s babies.
That's what.
I don't know if that's what it was, but
80s babies.
it wasn't really any. It was more, can I touch it, or can we rub it, or what's going on, or what you. They wanted to know what I was feeling. All the negativity came from the adults.
Right.
I can see.
My counselor tried to convince me to leave. My vice principal.
Wait, leave school?
Yeah.
Wow.
They tried to send me, what was it, continue ed?
Yeah, alternative.
They tried, first they used, mind you, they didn't know, like literally I was super skinny. This came from after 3 kids. But I was super skinny, so I didn't start showing until like a 6 months. Senior, I had more credits than I even needed. At this point, I'm just going to school for fun. I'm just kicking it with my friends. So she wanted me to leave, go continue ed, or either just sit out the remainder of the year and get my diploma mailed to me. So like,
you wasn't seen.
Like, why are you ashamed of me?
Like you a distraction or something.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow.
So then after I refused her, so this is me, 17-year-old, destined for this. Because that's the only thing. That's my knowledge of what God was doing in my life right now is like, it's crazy. Like this was all for a purpose. Because usually a 17-year-old would be, kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, I can kick rocks. I'm not doing that. So then after I refused her, the vice principal called a meeting with myself and my mom. Made me sign paperwork saying I wouldn't sue them if something happened to me. Told me don't ask me for an elevator key because that's don't expect any special privileges because that's a school for normal kids.
Oh, an elevator key. This is
Normal kids. Did you hear that key word?
Yeah,
So basically, you were abnormal because you were pregnant.
Because I was pregnant.
Wow.
So you keep your elevator key. I didn't even call this meeting. I haven't asked you for anything up to this point.
Right.
And my best friend Tiffany was one. So I was the one who was just like Aaliyah used to just like the boy and all that with the baggy jeans, t-shirts. That was me. She was the prissy one.
Right.
So she would be carrying my books plus her books and her cute little knee boots and little skirts and all of that. Like when I tell you the support was so dope.
That's awesome.
And we were in gifted, so it was like the same 10 of us every day in the same classes. And even the ones, all my friends that we had outside of our own little clique. Like it wasn't, oh look at Sarita, she's pregnant. It wasn't that. It was, that's Sarita. It is what it is. I went to all the barbecues. Like, my daughter is like the Sodan baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was one other friend, Krista. She had twins. Our junior year, hid the pregnancy the whole time. We had no idea.
Twins?
She had twins.
Goodness.
Yeah, and we had no idea until she had them. So it was just her and myself. There was only one time that I remember being down about my situation. And a friend of mine, Crystal, if you're watching this, Crystal, I'm sorry. But I never told her. But we were all talking one day and we just run our mouth. She was like, dang, we would almost made it if it hadn't been for Rita and Krista. Wow. But she was being silly, but she don't know. I literally cried all the way home, called my mama boo.
So she's talking about almost made it like all of y'all not being pregnant.
Yeah, we would have been the only class with no pregnancies except for me and Chris. And I was like,
That's cold.
Yeah.
But she was just being silly. Yeah, she was just being silly. I mean, we were all just we were just running our mouth.
Just kids.
Yeah.
But then she didn't realize like it literally broke my soul. I was like, really? Like, dang.
Wow.
But it was what it was. So my baby here is 20 now. So
that's good. What you got? You got anything?
So, yeah, I had one thing. So you're on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Did you see that viral clip of the girl? She was doing a young girl's hair, and the girl looked in the camera and said,
Yes.
"I'm ugly."
Yeah.
So I'm not. I looked at that and it got to me, and I was like, "Man, this is something I want to ask something because you got an outreach that kind of speaks to that, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think when you saw that?
That.
Oh, we almost might have to come back because that's a whole nother topic.
Because the girl looked dead in the camera was like,
Yeah.
Like she was looking at herself. She was looking at her reflection.
I'm ugly.
Yeah, I'm ugly.
And she
I'm
was
so
used.
ugly.
She was so used to saying that. And then when
cried.
when the girl was doing the hair, it's like, you ain't ugly. Why you saying that? And when she heard you're pretty, look at your dimples. That's when she started crying.
Hard.
It's a hard pill to swallow as an adult to hear a child say that about themselves. I have two instances of that. So my daughter in preschool, she used to go to daycare, and the daycare literally called me one day and was like, "Are you telling Tamari that she's pretty all the time?" Absolutely, I am. And she's like, "Well, you need to stop, because she just walk around just talking about how pretty she is all day, looking in the mirror. When she gets to school, she have a problem." No, when she gets to school, we're gonna have a problem, because if anybody try to tell my baby that she's not the finest thing walking, we all gonna have beef. How dare you tell me to stop telling my child she's beautiful? So just so that she can get to school, not hearing it from anywhere else, for a little boy to come tell her you fine, and now she's giving herself away because he loves me because he think I'm pretty.
Absolutely.
No way.
Hold on 1 minute. Okay, guys, listen. Everyone that is listening live, y'all stay put. But those of you that have signed on to listen to the Lion's Den, we thank you and everything. But we're going to continue this. So make sure you subscribe so you can get the follow-up to this. All right? We appreciate y'all. Stick around. Come back and have a good one. Oh, don't forget, wash your hands. We holla.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. Make sure to listen to the show on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, and Radio Public, where you can subscribe, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you like or dislike this episode, we'd appreciate your feedback on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Lionscast. Check out the book, The Black Collar Mindset, The Art of Strategic Thinking, on Amazon, or www.theblackcollarmindset.com, a manual to maneuver through life strategically by holding yourself accountable. Tune in next week for another episode of The Lion's Den with Seth.